In this presentation, I will be walking through penicillin and how it can be used to kill bacteria. Also talk about how bacteria has evolved to prevent it from being killed, basically becoming more resistant to antibiotics. My slideshow will begin. How penicillin kills bacteria. Penicillin inhibits proteins that cross-link peptidoglycans in the cell wall. With penicillin present, the bacteria cannot fill in the holes that are left in the cell wall. This causes the water to rush in due to the solutes the bacteria is now filled with. The bacteria cannot be supported by the cell wall anymore, and the cell wall pops. There's a picture I found there that showed the mechanisms of antibiotic action. The first step is inhibition of protein synthesis. It shows the ribosomes within the cell. Inhibition of nucleic acid synthesis. Inhibition of cell wall synthesis. Disruption of cell membrane function. And then the block pathways and inhibit metabolism. There are two types of gram stains. There's two types of bacteria that can be found using gram stains. There's gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. The gram stains detect bacterial peptidoglycan. Gram-positive bacteria have a single outer membrane and a cell wall. Gram-negative bacteria have an inner membrane, a cell wall, and an outer membrane. The gram-negative bacteria is harder for antibiotics to kill because of the outer membrane. And I'm showing a picture of the different types of gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria. As you can see, there's an outer membrane on the gram-negative, whereas the gram-positive, there isn't an outer wall. There's just the peptidoglycan, which is involved in both, and then there's the inner membrane on both of them as well. The bacterial cell wall synthesis. Penicillins inhibit bacterial cell wall synthesis. Penicillins bind to penicillin-binding proteins that help form and maintain the structure of the cell wall. The cell wall consists of peptidoglycan. Peptidoglycan. The formation of peptidoglycan is built in 3 steps, including precursor formation in the cytoplasm, linkage of precursor products into a long polymer, cross-linking by transpeptidation. The transpeptidation is inhibited by penicillins. This occurs when the cell wall is weakened and then cell death occurs. Antibiotic resistance. There are 2 major mechanisms of antibiotic resistance. There's outer membrane alterations and mutations reducing permeability. Properties of barriers of lipid bilayers are being affected with this. Bilayers are weakened, and the bacteria are able to resist the antibiotics. The antibiotic resistant bacteria are able to defeat the drugs made to kill them. Antibiotic resistant germs are able to multiply. The resistant bacteria can apply their resistance to other bacteria, and the bacteria can find ways to survive. The DNA is able to instruct bacteria to make resistant mechanisms. How does antibiotic resistance occur? This is a diagram I found. There's a high number of bacteria. A few of them are resistant to antibiotics. Antibiotics kill bacteria causing the illness, as well as good bacteria protecting the body from infection. So it's killed off all the some of the bacteria. The resistant bacteria now have preferred conditions to grow and take over. So now the leftover bacteria that were able to resist the antibiotics are multiplying, and the bacteria can even transfer their drug resistance to other bacteria, causing more problems. So it's making the good bacteria now resistant to the antibiotics. Bacteria resistance. 3 main mechanisms of resistance to penicillins. Enzymatic degradation of penicillin, inability of penicillin to penetrate the cell membrane to reach its target site, and alteration in the PBP target site. The prevention is needed for bacteria resistance. So researchers have determined that significant hand washing and changing gloves, which are two obvious ways to help with this problem, and then correct antimicrobial use in hospitals, and then combination of antimicrobial therapy can be used. So just using the antibiotics when they're necessary and the antimicrobials just in the proper forms can help with the bacteria resistance. And here are my references. And then I have the structure of penicillin. I'll find that. Here's the structure of penicillin from the website that was instructed. That's it. Thank you.